Hello everyone, this is my project covering All Creatures Great and Small by James Herriot. First, we have our introduction. All Creatures Great and Small was written and published by James Herriot on January 1st, 1972. Some background information about All Creatures Great and Small is that it has now been franchised. It has been turned into many different shapes and forms, such as series of books, films, TV shows, all based on the words of James Herriot. Background information continued. All Creatures Great and Small is a compilation book created by James Herriot that is comprised of his first two novels. The story of All Creatures Great and Small takes you on a journey throughout the English countryside and guides you through the homes as well as the lives of the people who reside there. It is based on a true story of James Herriot and his life in Yorkshire working as a veterinarian. Now it is time to dive into the characters of All Creatures Great and Small. Here is a list of all the characters I will be mentioning. First we have James Herriot, Siegfried Farnan, Tristan Farnan, Mrs. Hall, Mrs. Pumphrey, Helen Alderson, Mr. Alderson, and Deanna Brompton. James Herriot is the protagonist in All Creatures Great and Small. He is originally from Scotland, though he moved to Derby to become a veterinarian. Originally, James had a choice of having almost any job he wanted in Derby, though he enjoys the thought of working in the country with the humble and financially challenged citizens. James is really kind-hearted and is not after the money. He actually has genuine love for the job as well as the animals. He is an all-around amazing person. Siegfried Farnan is the owner of the local veterinary practice that is located in Derby. Some may think he is brash and rude, though on the inside, he is very much a kind-hearted gentleman. He gave James a job that he very much desired. Tristan Farnan is Siegfried's younger brother. He is what one would call a wild child. He attends a boarding school and is attempting to become a veterinarian like his older brother. He would rather be doing other things because he is doing poorly in university and is lying to his brother, telling him he is passing. Tristan feels as if he is pressured to do good to compare to his brother. Towards the end of the book, he finally realizes that he has to be more serious about his schoolwork and take his future more seriously. Mrs. Hall is the housekeeper and cook, as well as the only woman in the residence. Despite being strict, she puts up with everyone she shares the house with: James, Siegfried, and Tristan. Nevertheless, she has a soft spot for every one of them, especially Tristan, because she knows of his struggles. Mrs. Pumphrey is an old yet eccentric lady with wealth. She is the owner of a Pekingese dog named Tricky Woo. She treats Tricky Woo as if he is human as well. Since she does this, she believes everyone else should do the same and treat her dog human. She even refers to James as Uncle Herriot. To say the least, Tricky Woo is very spoiled. Miss Pumphrey is also kind-hearted as well as generous. Helen Alderson is James' love interest. She works at her own family farm and is very hands-on. Though she has feminist tendencies, she also has some Victorian-like ways and is happy to be able to help around the house. Helen is a diligent, hard worker and is appreciated by her community. Mr. Alderson is the father to Helen Alderson. He is a quiet and unassuming man. James is intimidated by him because he thinks that he may not be competent enough for his daughter. Diana Brompton is a pretty woman that Siegfried likes. Siegfried sees her on occasions, and she is one of Siegfried's only lady friends. All Creatures Great and Small has many themes. However, one of the major themes in All Creatures Great and Small is hardship and adversity. Some other themes focused in the book include culture, the natural world, farm life, resilience, human relationships, and the connections between humans and animals. Hardship and adversity is mainly shown in All Creatures Great and Small through the farmer's poverty, those who lose their beloved pets, and the severeness of the cold climate. In All Creatures Great and Small, culture isn't just to do with farming. As an example, James has the opportunity to experience theater, high-end parties with the upper-class citizens, and a chance to go to the local pub with those who are financially challenged. According to the author, Derby has its own unique natural beauty. The author describes the land as well as the rigorous climate that is experienced in Derby as different. Resilience is truly shown when the farmers and James Herriot decided to practice patience whilst dealing with both human and animal patients. Despite all the challenges they undergo, they still manage to keep some form of faith and hope. The author explains human relationships as when love and friendship are equally extremely important. An example of this can be seen between Siegfried and Tristan and the developing relationship between James and Helen. A majority of All Creatures Great and Small focuses on the connection between humans and animals. Not just the farm animals, but even the livestock, which is the main income for many. Also animals such as dogs, cats, and birds. There is a lot of sentiment when a human loves their pet as much as family. A great example of this is Tricky Woo. He is overly spoiled and is treated like family. In conclusion, All Creatures Great and Small is an amazing story about the life of James Herriot, along with his experiences, relationships, and most importantly, his challenges as a veterinarian in Derby. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my presentation.